This will only take a second. Just thought you'd like to see what you'll be driving on your next mission. Meet Night Stalker.
This is definitely one of the most unique cars that we've ever featured on the channel.
This is the one and only Bel Air ever built for the hit TV show Mask. Nicknamed the Night Stalker, this was a one-of-one custom build blending muscle, menace, and movie magic. And this Bel Air is not just a car, it's a time capsule of American television history.
This is a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. It was a promotional item that was created for a toy company that was located here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And as you can see, this thing is insane. It has a cannon that's coming out of the windshield. The headlights pop out, and it's the only one in existence.
Okay, yeah, it actually is super unique. And RJ, come over here. This cannon sticking out of the windshield, I have no idea what this was for. I think there was actually a toy made for this car, or this car was made for a toy that we might be able to find. What do you think this meant?
I have no idea. That is a very interesting looking headlight. I'm not sure what the purpose would be. Are you gonna hit someone with your headlight? Seems counterintuitive, then you can't see at night.
This one doesn't come out though, because it's gone.
I think that one's missing. Looks like this fender has seen some better days.
Yeah, something that you just mentioned to me, how are we gonna get into this car? It doesn't have door handles.
Yeah, we have some shaved doors here, so I'm assuming that's why the window is down.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's the cannon.
What the heck is that?
You think it works? You think we can
cool if it
put
did.
Mike in there and shoot him out of it?
Yeah. This might be one of the coolest cars that I've ever seen in my entire life.
What do you think of the paint job?
The paint job's sweet too. I think we should go grab the owner and ask him more about this thing because he would know better than either of us.
All right, guys, we're here with friend of the channel, Chris. Your father-in-law owned all these cars that are in this warehouse, and we've been actually waiting quite a while for this car to get dug out because there were many, many cars in front of it, but this thing is insane looking. Do you know what the history of this car is?
Yeah, I mean, this was built for a toy company out of Cincinnati, Kenner Parker Products, and we actually have the toy right here. The Mask 57, I think there was a cartoon made on it as well. This was kind of before my time, or I was very, very young when it first came out. So I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know this is what the toy company would go around to various different toy shows, car shows, and display on behalf of the toy. So you can see that the headlight kind of pulls out there. Oh, cool. And our headlight also pulls out. We've got the cannon coming through the windshield, and then as you guys get to clean it, you'll be able to see kind of on the inside what the interior looks like. But it's pretty unique.
Interesting. I'm excited to kind of dig through it and see what other secrets hide. So why did your father-in-law buy this car? What was his goals and plans for it?
Well, it was just a unique thing, and that he always found, you guys saw some of the other cars, they were always very unique, one of a kind types of items. And what he wanted to do was take this to the next level. So the toy actually kind of flips out. You can see there's another axle that pops out. The top then rotates. So he was actually going to do this with the actual vehicle that came from Kenner Toys. So
it's like a full-blown tank.
Yeah, never got around to doing it, but that was the ultimate goal. So love to see it kind of come to life. First step is cleaning it. Yeah,
absolutely, because it is in a bit rougher shape than the toy car is.
A little bit.
This is definitely a one-of-one, and it looks, I mean, well, obviously it looks like a toy car.
It does.
You know, something that I had in my Hot Wheels collection when I was 7 or 8 years old. So this is definitely the most unique car we've ever had on the channel by far. Now we have to figure out how we're going to move this car out of this warehouse, and although a lot of the cars are gone, we have some poles in the way, so this might take some elbow grease. All right, no matter what, we cannot let this roller fall into that hole. We'll be screwed. Well, we're gonna hit that pole.
Are we gonna hit the post?
Yeah, we gotta be really careful, because I think as we push this
It does, the front wants to rock over.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's all we got here.
That's a little sketchy, but we're away from the hole in the floor, so I don't know what I should be more concerned of, the hole in the floor or the pole in the way. So like once we have the back all the way pushed here, what's the likelihood of that roller ending up in this hole?
Pretty high.
Pretty high. You good on your side?
I'm good on my side.
What'd we lose?
Nothing, it's rocking back the other way. We got caught on something.
Okay. Okay, oh, stop.
Stop there.
We're a little closer than I'd like to be. But
well, here's the good news. We're gonna make it around the post, but I think we might end up in the hole.
We're gonna have to pull it this way while pushing it back at the same time. All right, our makeshift solution to this problem.
I don't think it's gonna work. I think it's just gonna slide. If Brent's gonna be really helpful, he can maybe stand on the board and he might only lose a toe or two.
All right, Brent, well, you got the Crocs on, put them in sport mode and stand on this board.
Go.
What do you think?
Ready?
You want to go up and over it?
All right. Did you lose a toe?
Well, we're in the hole.
We are in the hole.
Brent, I told you to stop the board from moving.
I tried.
You had one job.
I tried.
Literally one job. All right, that's actually not too bad. I bet.
It's not actually in the hole technically.
It's not. It's on the other. Maybe we can. Maybe. Wait. Hear me out. I think if we just push it, and Brent holds it like this, I think we can make this work.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bet against.
Brent, I need you to hold that board like with everything you have. All right, ready?
Ready?
Oh.
Wait. Go. Oh, right.
Oh.
All right, I lose the bet.
We just won the Bel Air for free. You guys didn't see me shake Chris's hand off screen. He bet us the whole car.
I've actually only ever seen this car uncovered maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've definitely never seen it move.
Well, there's a first for everything.
There is.
So now we're gonna finally start getting the Night Stalker out of this warehouse, but I wanna ask the question of the video, so leave your answers in the comments below. How many of you had this toy or watched the show when you were younger? Before finding this car and doing our research on it, RJ and I had never heard of Mask, which kind of makes sense because we're mid-90s kids. But as we got to be around the car, work on it and whatnot, I can understand why it would have been popular back in the day. And we're trying to hit a goal of 1.5 million subscribers by the end of this year, which is a lofty goal, but I feel like we can do it. So if you guys are new to this channel or you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure you take a second and hit that subscribe button because we have some really, really good content coming in the next months. We already have it all planned out. You do not want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe.
We're back at the shop with the Bel Air, and I figured the first thing that we will do is try and find some of the missing pieces as well as fix the grill, because unfortunately the zip ties that were holding it together broke during transit. So we're gonna have to reattach the grill because it looks sad without the big smiley grill. Figured the first thing we'll do is we'll try and find some of the pieces to this car inside the Bel Air. So here's one piece. This is actually, you can see it on the toy, there is a saw blade that comes out of the back, which maybe grinds the car behind you when you're being pursued? I found the actual saw blade that used to be attached to this car. I don't know where it was attached. It looks like it goes underneath the spare tire in the rear. So I'm assuming it bolts up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it bolts up right down here. That's kind of cool. So maybe we'll try and reattach that, but we're still missing the pop-out headlight. Well, usually it takes a little bit of time for us to remove the seats, but this one, apparently is an ejecto seat.
I don't even think that's a Bel Air seat.
Actually, that's a pretty good eye, Brian. I don't think so either. Looks like it's out of another GM product, but I'm not sure what kind of car. If anyone knows where this seat is originally from, let us know. What car do you think this seat originally belonged to? And then we obviously have the cannon made out of plywood. We have the sweet vanity plate, Mask 57. This is the Mask 57 Chevy, so that's kind of cool. I have the frame for the headlight, but we're still missing the actual headlight.
Maybe it's in the trunk.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try and find a way in there. All right, so we took the seat rest out, and now we can actually see what's in the trunk. And it looks like we have, whoa, a liquid crystal display recorder, division of Jetronic Industries. I have no idea what this is. A liquid crystal display LCD. Wait.
That's what LCD stands for.
Yeah, I know, but this is for, oh, I never knew that. That's for a boat. That's like a speedometer, tachometer for a boat, I believe. I think it tells you depth and whatnot too. All right, so we got some boat parts. Now we have a 25-watt marine radio. And some other marine parts back here. We got a fire extinguisher. This is a cell phone. No, it's a Lauren C with a home key. Flying, boating, hunting, fishing, hiking. All right.
No headlight?
No headlight. Well, there's hubcaps and a spare tire. There's this box back here too, but
What doesn't make sense to me, this can't be the only way to get in the trunk. There has to be a way to open it.
I'm sure it's behind that spare wheel cover. But if you could hand me a flathead, Brent, maybe I can finagle and open it up. Can you hand me a flathead though? The big one?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna need you on the outside, Brent. All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2. Oh, what the heck?
I can't.
Why not?
There's no way to do it.
If you just lift it up, it should pop up.
I'm pulling it. Nothing's happening. I'm lifting. It's not going.
All right.
Maybe they shut it and never wanted you to get in again.
I think you might be right.
Because everything was just bolted down. We had to unbolt it off camera.
Okay.
The trunk is just for show.
What we've come to realize is that when they built this, they riveted the holder for the spare tire to the trunk lid and then to the bumper. So the only way to get it out is if I drill out the rivets. And you know, I don't know if trunk space is very valuable in a car like this, and it's not mine to drill out. So I think we're gonna call it called a collective WD loss on this one. All right, guys, we obviously know that zip ties are not the preferred way to fasten this grill on, but this is not a grill that ever went on this car, and it wasn't fabricated very well in the first place, and I have no idea how else to fasten it for the sake of the video. So yes, I understand this is the incorrect way to mount this radiator looking grill on the front of this car. But for the record, this is how it was mounted on the car, and I'm not a fabricator and I can't figure out how else to do it. So I know, not the right way to do it, but it's the way we're gonna do it.
And now we can finally get into the detailing, so we're going to start by taking a little piece of plastic and taping off the hole where the cannon comes out so we're not spraying a ton of water into the car. And then we're going to move on to the wheels. We're going to take off this little hubcap and then thoroughly clean them with our WD Auto Supply products. And if you guys are interested in any of our WD Auto Supply detailing products, which we do everything in-house, we fill the bottles, we ship them out to you ourselves. Everything's in the description below. You can get whatever we use in this video that's on screen. And now for the pressure washing. I was amazed with how great this paint turned out just from the pre-rinse. I laid down a thick layer of the WD pre-wash and it helped lift up a lot of that initial dirt, and then you could still see some stains, which later on I figured out by using the citrus degreaser that we have, it removed the rest of it, which you'll notice me using a little bit later in the details. So I came back and got every single little dot that was left over, and this paint almost looked like it was polished just from pressure washing.
All right, now we're about to clean the engine bay, but I have a question for all of you at home. I'm a little confused. This is a V8 engine. I don't know if it's a 265 cubic inch or the 283, but what I'm confused on is that we have a single barrel carb, which I thought only came with the inline 6 version of this engine. So I'm not sure if the carburetor was swapped at some point, but if I'm not mistaken, it did come with a 2 barrel. So let me know in the comments if I'm just a young punk who doesn't know what these cars actually came with, or if the internet's lying to me. I'm trying my best to learn, and I appreciate all of you for commenting and teaching us below. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and cover the carburetor, the valve cover. We have a hole over there, so I'm gonna stuff that with some plastic to make sure no water gets down into the engine. And then I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum up all this rust, and then we're gonna degrease the whole entire engine, scrub it, and rinse it away.
All right, guys, now that the car is all washed and dried off, first of all, I have to say it looks really good. We did a good job and it's not even polished yet, but we have a new person here on camera, and this is my brother, Joey. For some reason, every time we have a 57 Bel Air in the shop, we introduce a new person on camera. And we did this to Braden last time we had a 57, so now I have to do it to you, Joey. Just as an inaugural thing to WD, first of all, do you want to say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone.
Anyways, I want you to try and tell me, how do you fill up the gas on a 57 Bel Air? Where is the gas cap? We did this to Braden and he could not find it.
Let me give her a quick scan.
For some reason, I don't know of other Chevys that did a good job at hiding this, but this one's pretty well hidden.
Oh boy.
You have any ideas of where it could be?
Oh, no, none. It's got to be inside the car. Is it like right inside the door or something?
I don't know, you tell me.
Well, how do I open this thing?
You gotta actually reach in. It's not inside the car, I'll just save you the time. And it's probably funny because a lot of the older generation watching this are like, it's right there.
I'm gonna be getting cooked in the comments.
How many times have you been around older vehicles in your life?
Not enough, apparently.
I'll tell you right now, you're very cold.
I'm cold.
Yeah.
See, I know I've seen things where they like, is it somewhere back here?
You're really hot right now. You're on fire.
Oh!
Would you have ever guessed it was hidden right there?
You know, for a second, I checked that one over there. I was like, I thought it was down here. Would never have checked there, honestly. That's crazy.
Yeah, what's actually funny, we couldn't get the trunk open because it's actually riveted shut, but I was messing around trying to find a keyhole, trying to find any way to open the trunk, and I even pressed those little things just for fun because I could not figure it out either.
No idea, that's crazy.
And also, we were just talking about this. These windows have this weird, almost snowflake pattern going on. Joey, what did you find out on the internet?
So I guess older Chevys in particular have a double pane glass where they put a plastic laminate sheet in between. And I guess the laminate sheet and in between the glass gets water and other stuff stuck in it, and it starts to do that.
I've never seen this on any of the cars that we've worked on. It's definitely interesting, and I didn't know that the laminate panes can just come apart like that.
Neither did I. Shout out Google.
All right, guys, now moving on to the interior, I'm gonna keep this one pretty short and sweet because we've all seen a 57 Chevy. We've done multiple on this channel, but how many 57 Chevys or cars in general have you seen with a cannon inside? I'm actually gonna sit back if you move in, Joey. This is how the cannon works. So they made this out of a wood and mounted it to the floor. So it's actually bolted into the floor, if you can see right here. And the way that it comes out of the car through the windshield is right here. You have someone that sits in the back or even the driver, and you just go, boom. I was talking about this with some other people who came into our shop, and maybe you guys can comment some ideas in the comments below. But I think it'd be really cool if somebody redid this cannon and made it either shoot bubbles or flames or something that really took this car from the 70s or whenever it was built and made it a 2025 toy car. And if you took this to a car show and it was shooting flames or whatever, it would take the whole show. Other than that, I wanted to focus on the actual condition of this interior. For how old this car is, the carpet is in amazing condition. I was very surprised. And these door panels, minus some mold on them and a little bit of aging, they're actually like perfect. Usually these don't hold up too well, but this is really, really nice. And then the last thing I noticed, which I don't know if this was common to do or not, but somebody moved the horn from the actual steering wheel under here, which when you really think about the practicality, if you were driving a car and someone cuts you off in traffic, you have to go, okay, let's say you're driving, right? And then guy cuts you off, you have to go to beep at them. So like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's kind of funny. This car does have 21,000 miles, it says. It might be 120 or just 20, I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm gonna hop out of here and we're gonna start cleaning the carpet. And this is actually a pretty easy interior to get clean, so should come out pretty nice.
time to polish the Mask 57, and I gotta say, I am so excited to be working with nice paint because the last couple cars, well, they weren't all that nice. But this paint is actually in great shape. We have very little to no oxidation. And honestly, there's not too much that I need to do here. I'm just gonna do a light polish to maybe try and remove a thin layer of oxidation just to brighten up this teal color a little bit. But I am just gonna have to be very careful around the decals as the pinstriping right on the edge of where the decal starts is painted on with a single stage paint, and it is very soft. So I'm going to try and be very careful around the flames and all the decals, but this is gonna be a nice, easy day for me, which I really need. All right, guys, we're here with Adam, who is going to help us hopefully get the 57 Chevy running, and he's been tinkering with it a little bit already. What have you found out, Adam?
All right, so first thing, I just started looking through the engine bay, and look up here. There's a bunch of burnt wires, burnt mess, burnt spark plug wires. So there was definitely a little engine fire back here, which is kind of really concerning. The next thing, I started looking around underneath. Looks like we're gonna need a starter. And I did notice a couple other odd things kind of unbolted and missing underneath. I don't think that's gonna affect us for what we're gonna do with this car, but somebody's definitely been in here working. There's a new fuel pump on it, so somebody did try to get it started. That's pretty interesting to see, kind of try to understand the history of this car and what brought it to this point. So what we're gonna do here is the customer said he wants to hear this thing run. So we're gonna bypass the car. We're going to get what we need to get this engine to run by itself. So what that includes will be most likely a starter, definitely a new distributor, wires, coil, and we're gonna wire this thing up separate from the car because of all this kind of burnt wiring. We don't want to risk burning down the car. And we'll get the engine to be able to turn over on its own, make its own spark. And at that point, then we can start messing with adding some fuel to it, hopefully get this thing to kick over because we want to hear this thing run.
Absolutely, that all sounds great. It's actually really nice because the owner does want to spend the money. He's going to spend about $750, $800 just to see if this motor will turn over and make car noises. And so you guys have been asking for us to try and get these cars running, and now we actually have a customer who wants to put the money into it, and we have Adam who has the time to do it. So I guess stay tuned. We're going to try and get this thing to run.
Let's make it happen. Dug into this thing a little bit more. So I put the new starter in place. I pulled all the spark plugs out of it, cut the old fuel line. So this motor is pretty much disconnected from the rest of the car. As you can see, I've got the distributor cap and everything taken out, and I've made up some new battery cables here. So I've got all this hooked up, turned the motor over by hand, that's all good. I actually saw a little bit of fuel that's left in the fuel pump pumping up, so we got a fuel pump, everything's turning over, the distributor rotor was turning, so that's a really good sign. Next, we're going to be pulling out that distributor, dropping the new one in, hooking up some wires, some spark plugs, and we're gonna add one more wire to this mix, and hopefully we can see some spark. Next step's gonna be some fuel.
Really quickly, before we try to start this car for the first time, you and I just had a conversation off camera where you found some things that were disconnected. Do you think that this car was chosen randomly to be built into this Mask 57?
I'm starting to think that this car was just a non-running car that this company bought. They painted, they did all the custom stuff to it, and they turned it into their advertisement piece, and they trailered it around, took it to shows. I don't think this was a running and driving car for the toy company. But that's just my opinion right now. Who knows? All of this could have happened afterwards.
What did you find disconnected?
So there was obviously the fire under the hood. There's a couple bolts missing from the transmission bell housing. There were a couple new parts on here. So it seemed like somebody was maybe working on it. Maybe that's when it got passed on, or all that stuff happened afterwards. It's hard to tell in the last 40 years what's happened to this thing.
Yeah, and we have no brakes either, so even if we wanted to drive it, unfortunately we can't. But we'll get it started for the video, hopefully, and see what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead. So as you can see back here, we've got a new distributor, new coil, new wires, new spark plugs in here. I have the fuel line connected because we've got fuel in the filter. So everything to make it fire up is hooked up. And then we have a 4-wire hookup. This purple one's gonna hit the starter solenoid. Orange one gives power to the coil. So that's gonna give us our spark. As we attach our spark here, and we can hit it, and let's see if it starts.
Whoa, why does it sound like that?
Something's squeaking in there. We did say that there is potentially some work that has been done to the transmission area. Don't quite know exactly, but it just ran, which is wonderful.
Can we try one more time?
Of course.
Okay, do one more.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't explode. Okay, I've never heard an engine that sounds like that, but you did get it running, so.
It runs. I mean, that's what we came here and set out to do. This is how old did we say this car was? 57. It's almost 70 years old. I mean, how much more could you ask?
All right, guys, and that's going to be the end of the 1957 Mask Hurricane Bel Air video. Adam, thank you for all the work that you put in on this one. We love having Adam at the shop, guys. He does so much great work for us. He's already working on something that we have coming up in September, so you do not want to miss that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week.